What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of the Biz, Bites, and More podcast. This is a very special one. I think this is over the hill. I don't know if that's at 40, but if it's at 50, we're fucking hitting it right now. We are in episode 50. Big day, everyone. Awesome. All right. Nobody. Okay. It is January 16th, 2021. We're your hosts. This is Grayson and...
Hello.
Yeah, that's Josh. That's Josh. Well, if you can see our smiling, shiny faces that only a mother could love, then you know what's going on right now. This is a very special day. It's a very special episode. Josh is a very special boy. We have a very special guest. It is a lunch hour with guests, volume 6, and we have a childhood and family friend on the pod today. Friends call him Gerald, but we call him Mike or Michael or Michelle or Mikey if you hail from Boston. Mike, hello. How are you?
I'm quite well, Grayson. How are you?
Good. Well, I should leave that to Josh because you guys are more friends than I. You just tormented me as a child, so I mean,
remember that.
It's burned into my memory. So Mike, you've seen a lunch hour with guests before when Josh was on it, right?
I did.
So I mean, what do we all do in our corporate slave ships? That is a job. When you go on a lunch break, depending on the person, after texting your ungrateful wife about a divorce and, Benihana later with the kids, we rip open a wine cooler in your RAV4 used 2015, and you just start chugging away. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to give you a little peace throughout your day, and that's the only thing closest to like yelling at Ron, your neighbor. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, or if you're Josh, I mean, you chug an entire bottle of tequila.
Whoa. I'm being outed once again.
Oh, well, Josh is used to that. So we're gonna do lunch hour with guests. We're gonna ask you some fucking questions. It's not gonna be anything hard. Talk about some stuff. Have a few drinks of your respected beverage. And how's it sound?
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. So Josh, let's go. You're up.
Yeah, I just wanted to start off with some softballs. Mike's a man that works out, so he's a very fit dude. So I want to know, what's your mile time?
6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Jesus.
No.
Max bench.
6 minutes and 30 seconds.
No.
Max squat.
4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Weed.
How many pull-ups can you do?
In a row?
Sure.
No, fucking no,
over a day.
A day? Probably like 12 or 13.
Have you ever tried?
1,000.
1,000. All right.
I don't even know what to say.
What's your max hip thrust?
I've never hip thrusted. I find it uncouth.
I see.
He's more of a bottom kind of guy.
How many hot dogs can you fit in your mouth?
Jumbo or regular?
Jumbo.
What color are they?
A little darker tinge. They're
2 or
beef
3.
franks.
A little questionable.
2 or 3.
Oh,
I'm a 7. I'm a 7 on that one. So you'll have to up your mouth game.
Why Josh Rom, as they call him?
Yeah, that's what they call me. And then the last thing I want to know is, growing up, we were friends. How much money were my parents paying yours and your family for you to hang out with me?
I think it was more based off of threats of bodily and physical harm than it was actual money. But
that's great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. All right.
Well, Mike, this might have been the worst intro questions we have ever had on a lunch hour with guests. So, hey, we are hitting our stride. So, Mike, just to start it off, what are you currently doing? I mean, I don't know if you want to give too many personal details, but what do you currently do? Where do you live? All that good jizz and jazz.
I live in North Carolina. I have a job. doing that. I've been spending a lot of time just staring out the window recently, kind of thinking about my past.
Oh, how do you like North Carolina? I mean, comparative, you've been in Texas, Georgia, North Carolina. You like it? No?
Thing. There's just more mountains.
A lot of hippies.
A lot of hippies. Got a lot of hippies up here. Everyone has a garden.
Well, speaking of hippies,
Hey, you have a garden?
I do, but everything's dead.
Nice.
It's not my garden.
Yeah, everything I touch dies too.
Yeah.
Speaking of death, hippies, and all that, and we'll get into conspiracies a little later. But Mike, if you know chemtrails, right? You know what those are. Okay, so if they were cherry flavored, do you think they would be more accepted in our society?
Possibly less accepted.
Ooh, really? The other way around? I don't know. Agree to disagree on that one. All right, Josh, go ahead. Oh, Lord, fuck.
So, you and I, and even Grayson, we all attended summer camp, a notable one, Camp Ozark specifically, if we want to out them. And there was some very interesting stuff that happened there back in the day. Learned a lot of penis tricks as young boys. Which one was your favorite? The gonzo, the fruit basket?
So first off, I want to neither confirm nor deny this was Camp Ozark, or I learned penis tricks. So
nothing like some college dudes teaching some young boys penis tricks, right? I don't see a problem.
Not confirming or denying it.
I don't remember tricks. I just remember a lot of. Well, I remember Josh screaming in the closet. He went in with one of the counselors, but I don't. That was the only trick I saw was to make Josh disappear, and then he'd come out and look satisfied.
You don't remember like the check out this hairy gum on my leg, and it's been like, it's your ball sack, bro.
I actually do remember that. Yeah, that was it was a different time. You know, it's 2021 now.
Better time, some would argue.
They made every like. There's that one night that you like run out in the darkness and like capture shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Mission Impossible?
Yes. Wow. Yes. That repressed memory just came back forward. Do you remember how like anxious everybody was for that shit? Like they made it like so every night before it you're like, fuck, like is Mission Possible? I don't know. You guys were older, but for the younger kids, that was a very stressful event, especially for a Christian. I don't know. And they really love Jesus. Those guys, they love God. I mean,
yeah, you don't love God? Not only do they love God, but TJ also loves teaching me about gelling my pubes and telling me the ladies loves it. But they like, you know?
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. All right. Well, you heard it here. It's not wrong.
Class action lawsuit lawyer.
Love that.
So you're a pube geller. You learned early and young, and you've taken it with you.
So we kind of went off the beaten path of penis tricks, which I'm totally okay with. But yeah, so not a lot of the Christian camp that might have been or might not have been Camp Ozark, at least for myself. What was that, Mike?
There's a lot of Christian camps. Could have been anyone.
Yeah.
Any number of those camps.
You probably can't check that I was ever like enrolled there and that's the exact camp. So, you know, it's definitely maybe not Camp Ozark, but probably also not, but maybe Camp Ozark, you know?
Yeah, there's about 1,000 Grayson Schramm's out there, so you better have something better than a name on a record bucket from Arkansas. Stupid lawyers.
Are these survivor stories at this point? Is that what?
I don't want them to be. All right, so first drink up for the day. Before we get into the next segment, Mike, do you have a water?
A beverage of sorts. There we go.
We were gonna ask you just full disclosure to eat a raw egg like a monkey dancing in the circus.
Well, I can't drink. This podcast would turn sad. But
no, I understand that. I was saying the raw egg thing. It kind of feels like we're making, making a show of you, and I didn't want to make a show of you.
Was that you in college that would be or I know Walker would drink raw eggs. One of our
I would
buddies,
eat
Walker.
eggs. Yeah,
Yeah. What's that like, man? I've never done
the texture's not great.
it. That's what I would assume. Like,
Yeah.
is the taste there or something? You seem to say like this
No,
is the worst part. No, so it's just
no, not
awful experience.
it's fun.
Speaking of college, Josh. Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
boy, here we go.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
I
You
can't
heard
chug
him.
beer like I can chug liquor. Don't
You
worry,
heard the
boys.
nostalgia in that voice. Oh God, here we go.
Mhm.
Seen that a few times. I'm referring to you drinking, Josh. All right, go. These are yours, buddy. I can
Oh
see 'em.
yeah. So Mike, in college, we were buddies, and you had a lot of this weird habit of after one night stands that you would ask the girls if they wanted to hang out all day. Why'd you do that? It seems a bit too soon, if you ask me.
I would call Josh for a ride, and he would make me put the phone on speaker and ask the person if I wanted to spend the rest of the day together before he would have.
Oh, what a dick.
Hey, the good news is they mostly said no, right?
Mostly.
Yeah. But
What happened to the ones that said yes?
One of them said yes, but some would look at me with a hopeful look of really, and then they'd realize that they
they'd hear me laugh.
knew now I didn't want to spend the whole day with them so badly that my friend knew it and was making a joke of it and of them as a person. So
Cruel soul right there.
Yeah.
Cruel soul.
It was fun. So my next question would be, so we were FaceTiming last weekend. Walker, one of our friends from college, was here with his fiance. We were FaceTiming you and your girlfriend, is me, my girlfriend, Walker, his fiance, FaceTiming you and your girlfriend. And at one point, I mouthed to her, I said, "Blink twice if you're in danger," and she immediately blunked
it
twice.
couldn't stop blinking. She just was letting those eyelids go.
Yeah, can you explain that?
I mean, she was in danger, But, like, was she in immediate danger? Probably not. More like danger of me collapsing in on myself like a dying star and emotions and just tearing her life down as I spiral into a pitiful star.
You got to take them down with you. That's the way of the world.
You try not to, but
like a dying star. Oh,
dying
that's
star.
great.
Yep. Sometimes I relate to stars as well. You look at it and it might be bright on the outside, but it's been dead for years on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Let's go ahead and get out our tinfoil hats. And for a moment, let's talk about our favorite conspiracy theories. I love it. I love it. So one of the ones I've been on to recently, aside from anything to do with Donald Trumpet or aliens, one of my favorite ones as of recently is that the coronavirus was a biological attack from the Chinese, not only on their own people but on the entire world. Do you buy it?
I don't buy anything that comes from you.
Mike, can you turn your head so we can see your hat a little bit?
Your yarmulke.
It's not a yarmulke.
Yeah.
It's close.
He's a Jewish conspiracy theorist.
That's not. Don't.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Michael, do you identify as a member of the Jewish religion?
I do not. I don't have.
But you wear a yarmulke, a tinfoil yarmulke, to support them. I respect.
Well, I mean, they don't have a monopoly on flat hats. You know what I mean? Like, I was low on tinfoil. I was low on tinfoil, and I had to work with what I had. I didn't have enough to clone. Let me ask you: is your KKK that you got there made out of tinfoil? Is that?
I call it more of like a fez. It's very rounded. It's almost a beanie.
It's what those old. You remember what old people wore in that little club that they were in? It was those red hats that were tall. I don't know what the Masons or some shit.
Off them, right?
Yeah. With like for college graduations, they had a tassel and shit.
No.
I don't know what the fuck
What?
they're
I mean,
called.
what do you don't even have a tinfoil hat on. You just
Dr. Fauci, I'm listening to science, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not letting that 5G get to this head.
Would you consider that
The
a
virus.
virus deterrent or a chin diaper?
I would consider your face a virus. Fuck. Damn it. Butchered it. Sorry.
I'd consider your face a virus deterrent.
Wow, that would be. I mean, that would actually be a good thing. You know, it would
Or
have been
it
better
means
if
I'm like
somebody said
really ugly,
pussy.
so people actually
That's
want to
what I thought.
socially distance around me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
All right. So what's so yours is fucking Chinese things
Mike,
that nobody
Mike, you
believes.
were telling me one time you had a message about it. It was something about like monkeys on a typewriter or some shit. Can you explain this to us?
Oh, that they'll type up Shakespeare. Is that what you're about to say?
Well, I mean, yeah, there's some sort of thing. Like, if you, I got in a conversation the other day about if you throw your clothes in the dryer enough times, will they eventually all come out folded?
Probably.
Like
In the realm of possibilities, it's possible.
Do you know how many people dry their shit every day?
Probably never happened.
Somebody would put that on TikTok. That's a TikTok in a heartbeat.
But is it
Yeah.
all your clothes come out folded, or is it like you put one in? Because I could see how like maybe one shirt one time.
Well, if it does it one time, then you should be able to up the number and be 2 shirts, 3 shirts, 1,000 shirts.
So all you're saying is I've got to stop.
What are we saying? The laws of physics don't apply to dryers?
That's a
You
great
can
point.
put 1,000 shirts in a dryer. You can put 100 in.
He's talking
Well-
about the chance, right?
Yes, probability.
This isn't that's not a conspiracy theory, though. Probability
Well,
is not a conspiracy.
It's
But
physics and science and
I have to ask myself
mathematicians.
too: is a dryer unfolding clothes to the point where it would never fold clothes because its job is to unfold them?
So all I'm getting is an image of you looking at your dryer every night and maybe just screaming at it. Tell me your secrets.
Like if this thing can fold my clothes, maybe there's a chance I'll be happy.
Yeah. I've realized that a part of being an adult is instead of like taking things out of the dryer and folding them, I just dry them and then instead of going to my closet, I go to the dryer every day to put my clothes on.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Okay, can I share an actual conspiracy theory then?
I guess.
If his is about dryers.
If you have to.
Yeah.
Our most famous guest on the podcast, and he shares a fucking conspiracy theory about dryers. This is, I'm kidding. No, the Denver airport. Have y'all heard about that?
No, they have one in Denver.
I've heard they have.
Yeah. All right, it's like
Surprising
supposed
to
to
me,
be
too.
like a super bunker for I don't know, government officials when the world's collapsing. You haven't heard that? They have like weird murals and shit, and like they have gargoyle statues, and they have tunnels that lead to like nowhere. And none of the engineers that built it will ever say anything about it. Like nah, fuck it. I don't know. That's a conspiracy.
Wait, there's a
okay.
gargoyle?
Back to the dryer. Well, the
I've been to
dryers.
the Denver airport. It's stupid. It looks like a giant tent.
Hey,
it's a tent with cables.
Yeah, the Denver airport does suck. I'm gonna go out there and agree with them.
At least we have an airport.
Anyone who flies in there sucks too.
Yeah,
we have an airport.
We don't have an airport.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to go to Salt Lake City for that.
You're in Salt Lake City.
That's not true, but also true.
Interesting.
All right.
I got a Salt Lake City. Where is Josh?
Where is Carmen San Diego?
But I'm also everywhere.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's hard to do, but when you do it, you do it. So.
All right. Let's get to our second drink of the day. Conspiracy theories all around. The Chinese are giving us viruses. Dryers will fold your clothes. And the Denver airport is a tent.
For stupid people.
Yeah, you big dumb idiot.
Excuse Michael?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You just kind of
All right.
on the rest of Saturday.
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah.
do it more like towards 10 a.m. I give up on the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier. Days are hard, you know. They're long. You got to get through them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wonder what the sweet release of death might be like.
Oh my God, guys. Jesus.
Listen. Hold on. Before you're like, that's so depressing. Why would he say that? Just know that
I
I've experienced quite a lot in my life. It's something I haven't experienced. Have you experienced it?
Like
What
that
I
time
thought?
at summer camp that you were talking about.
Wow, that was I'd call that more exhilarating than anything. I learned a lot of tricks.
oh, oh
A lot
my
of
gosh.
tricks.
Okay. Michael, these are my questions, and I am just so excited to ask them. Are you excited to tell me them?
I'm
All right.
really
The first one is a story. Whether you're excited or not, we're going to ask them. Okay. So you had a long stint in the music world,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
I mean, okay. All right. Yep. Off the cusp, could you give me just a story that stands out to you? Something that it doesn't have to be like wild or like particularly funny or anything that like when you think back on those days, like one story that just you always like to tell or
Give us
share.
one that makes those nipples hard when you talk about it.
One time we were talking to Leon Russell's people about doing a show with him, and then he died.
That's heartwarming and depressing at the same time. It's like it almost happened. Real
Yeah.
cliffhanger there. You took us to the side of the cliff and you pushed us off. We love you.
That's the one. That's
Just
the one you
came to
go with.
mind first. I don't.
Okay.
Dude, I mean,
Hey.
he met Leon Russell's people. So, like,
Hey, this podcast, you will get authentic answers like Leon Russell. I was going to say, give us some context, but your stories was an entire sentence. So that was great.
Yeah.
All right.
do you remember when we, after Tedeschi Trucks Band, when we were yelling at Susan and Derek when we saw them walking out?
I do. Yeah.
I yelled to Susan Tedeschi that I love her. And she said,
Hey,
I love you
did
too.
you write Backdoor Bay on the
I
band
did.
piano?
I
You
did.
did?
Yeah.
I love that song. My
Oh,
favorite song
thanks.
from them. Yeah.
I
So
like
you
that
guys
song.
can find some of Mike's music. His band is the Band Piano. You can find it on Spotify. He's got a really good song, Backdoor Bay. A lot of really good music on there. Check it out.
Hey, Josh, where in the episode notes was plug Mike's stuff? Because I thought that
What kind of dictator are you?
director, and my name is Martin Scorsese or Joe Rogan. All right, Michael. All right, all right. On just I don't know what you're gonna base this on, but would you name for us since you're a very good guitarist? What are your top 3 guitarists of all time? Go for it. Top 3.
Wow. I guess maybe Eric Clapton, Derek Trucks ish, she, and I don't know. It's hard to put 3 in there.
Don't let
I'm
me
just gonna
down.
do 2.
Eric Clapton, Derek Trucks, and
Stevie Ray. We'll say that.
so no Lenny
Yes!
Kravitz.
We got it.
I mean, Lenny Kravitz is a close 4th. You know what? Take Stevie out. He's number 3. You're right.
Shocking and a little insulting, but let's go ahead and move on. So Lenny Kravitz, I mean, first time list doesn't come on the
How
top.
are you saying that last name? Kravitz?
Kravitz?
Grayson's illiterate and retarded. He's not wearing his helmet, as you can tell. He hasn't taken his meds today. There's no wrist guards on, no knee pads on, no mouth guard in. You got to give him a break on this. He's basically illiterate.
And he's
Wow, guys, this reminds me of my childhood with you.
watching.
If he starts drooling, just do this.
Okay, this next one is for both of you, kind of. And I don't know how far you want to go into it, but you both have interacted with the front man of Creed at some point, some point in your lives.
Yeah,
Maybe.
indeed. We played softball with him, so you can probably look into his backstory and find out exactly why we'd be playing
Was he a
recreational
good
softball with the front man. Scott Stapp is his name. I believe something happened. Like I don't know if he fell off a balcony or thought he did, and he was like saved by rapper Ti or something. There's some story about that. It's interesting.
I'm not familiar with rapper Scott Steed or Ti.
Ah, yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Stat.
Scott Stapp.
Wow. I had heard the stories that quite like you guys both did in middle school. You were bullying the front man for Creed. Hilarious. All right, Michael, don't you shake your head. Where were you when Steve Jobs died?
Standing over his lifeless body. Holding
God.
my iPad and asking a bunch of questions about updates.
You're too good. Wow, usually I say, suspicious. Because you,
No, it's not. It was
no, I can't explain that.
unrelated to his death. Why I would say. I was taking a Microsoft, an Xbox.
Standing over his body.
Well, that would be kind of insulting, the whole Xbox thing. That's Microsoft, Mike.
I was yelling, fix this. And he's like, I can't. I didn't make that. And I was like, how good are you?
Hey, Mr. Jobs, I installed. Fuck, man. Oh, that was a good answer. That was the best one we've had yet. That was, Michael, I have no words. That was a really good one. Josh, this next question is yours. So.
Yeah, so I wanted to know, this is I've got a few questions that are like following the initial question, but what came first, the chicken or the egg? Technically, isn't that incest? And is the past tense of come really came, not comed?
Okay.
It's came.
It depends where you're going to.
No, he's talking about the.
I'm joking that chickens are fucking eggs and eggs are fucking chickens.
Oh no, it was said the egg came first.
The egg can't come first.
Yes, it can, and it did.
It has to be laid.
Yes, by something that was not a chicken.
Much like Josh was at summer camp.
Well.
Guys, seriously, you guys already said the name. There's like seriously a class action lawsuit.
Seated.
There's going to be a lawyer that's going to be like, so I heard the podcast.
Dude, we had community showers. I feel like I think you were telling us about how there were like kids slip and sliding through the community showers.
Yeah, they did. Like Josh allegedly was.
I don't know what it was called. It could have been called Camp Brozark for all I know. So I'm out of it, lawyers.
Isn't it in Arkansas? Wasn't it in Arkansas too?
Yes, the Ozark Mountains of
very fitting to what I experienced.
I don't know it for sure, but I would think they're referring to the Ozark Mountains of
Arkansas. Do you guys know some of the things I mentioned though? The gonzo, that's where you tuck all the way and you bend all the way over, touch your hands to your toes, and it kind of looks like the Muppet, the gonzo, the big eyes and the big long nose sticking out.
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as naming something goes. It's well done.
Good it is. And the bat, it's where you take your sack and you pull it all the way up, so it looks like bat wings.
Mm-hmm. We also movie waiting. Okay, thank you, Josh. That was informational at best.
I mean, it felt like you wanted to go back to more penis tricks, and I felt like I could.
No one. That wasn't no. And the egg did come before the chicken, Michael. You can debate me all you want, but you're still wrong.
Maybe they came at the same time. It was beautiful.
Let's have the last drink of the podcast. Everyone, put it up. Michael, that's the last time.
Oh, can you guys read this?
Is that kombucha?
Yes, brought to you by Bucci.
We're looking for a sponsorship, Abuchi.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
am drinking
yeah.
Shiner Bock because I'd never drink that garbage shit.
That's
Kombucha.
Michael, the former frontman for the band Piano,
Yep.
and that is the band Piano. I'm not just saying the band Piano. It was named the band Piano.
They got a lot of social clout. So if you want social clout, Abuchi, we don't want you because we'd rather take Shiner Bock because you suck and kombucha sucks. But we'll take you. We'll take you as our like 19th place. Grayson's really pushing for word genius. Have you heard Grayson's word of the day shit?
No.
Ugh,
It's
good,
amazing.
good.
Teach
Whew.
people things every day.
It's just a list of racist words. That's what I would imagine.
Nah, it's more like
No,
he's like the
Oh,
word of the
what?
day is vagina, and
What?
then
just
he's
like
like,
No.
what does that mean? And it's like, oh, it's the female sex organ, and then
Well,
he's like, use
it,
it in a sentence, and it's like the alpha male said, bro, are you a virgin? And the soy boy responded, no, dude, I bang vaginas all the time.
okay, butchering it. Michael, virus deterrent or chin diaper?
I don't know. Which one's better? Which one served you better when you were storming the Capitol?
I
It's a
didn't
good
even write this
question.
question. I don't know what the fuck it
Oh, God.
means.
It means I want to know, do you like wearing mask? How do you feel about the whole mask on, mask off situation? There were people and like running around Walmart like spitting on people at some point about all this shit. Like, can you
Well, you
imagine?
need to
Like
go to a
that's
institution
gross
if you're
whether we're supposed
spitting.
to wear masks or not.
Well,
All right. Well,
I mainly wear a mask because I don't want people to spit on me or look at me weird.
Yeah.
I feel like we lost. We lost the virus one. We should, it
I
should
wear a mask when I'm
like
stealing from Walmart.
What do you think we should do about the virus then?
allow it to take its rightful place as the new human, the smartest, intelligent being on Earth. We should step down to number 2, and now it should have to wear masks it before it goes to its Walmart.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, in maybe the worst take of the century, that was Mike on the virus deterrent or chin diaper. Chin diaper. All right, Mike. A fully grown chimpanzee versus a horse. Who takes the cake?
A chimpanzee all day. It's smarter. It's got better wrestling and grappling skills.
Well, trick question, Mike. Neither of those animals can bake, and we have all seen that. So,
what are you gonna do?
I
I
feel
know,
like
but
maybe
I don't
chimps
know.
can bake. Yeah,
Well,
this
I
is what you
didn't.
do. You make a chimp grab an egg and crack it in the thing. You give it cocaine. It's like, this is great. It's going to crack eggs for the rest of its life because you keep giving it cocaine. You keep doing that till it gets all the ingredients and puts the thing in the oven. It's going to be a shitty cake, too many eggs.
Shut up. Okay, so okay, how about this? So the chimpanzee and the horse are in an arena that it's just like glass walls and ceilings. So the chimpanzee couldn't easily get the high ground because I do agree with you. If a chimpanzee did get the high ground and got on the horse's back, horse is done. It's gonna
Well,
rip it apart.
pray to God that doesn't happen. We don't need chimps.
Okay, well, so we're taking away the high ground aspect. Does the chimp still win? And Josh, you can answer this too.
Is the chimp armed?
No. With its fists, I guess. I mean,
Is the horse armed?
it's got a saddle.
Well,
I mean,
that's going to give a target for the chimp to jump on and really latch on.
okay, all right, no saddle. It's just a wild fucking horse.
I'm wondering, if you put an angry
Here is the only thing. The mane. I think the chimp could, if it gets the mane, done.
if you put them in a cage, are they actually going to fight? Is what I'm wondering.
All right, I know we're
Or do
getting
you
a
have to
little
like starve them for days and jab them with like something that's going to shock them a little bit and get them all pissed off for a long time?
Just bring up a good point. The chimp is smarter, technically.
Yeah.
I think.
But dude, chimps like a pound per pound like strength is insane, right?
Yeah, they can like rip your fucking arm.
Yeah.
I think.
Like
It's
these.
not fair.
Would you own a chimp, Mike?
Hell no, I wouldn't own a chimp.
Why not?
It's like having a baby. You have to like change its diapers and
And one day it like wants to turn on you. It's smart enough.
yeah.
This thing's fuck you up, man. We saw the Rise of the Apes with James Franco.
Yeah.
Rise of the Apes,
Come
wasn't
on.
it Planet of
Rise
the
of the
Apes?
Galaxy of the Apes, I think is what it was called.
And it was what you said was right, Mike. I don't know.
I
So,
missed
I don't
this
know.
one clearly.
Well, Planet of the Apes, if that taught us anything, chimpanzees are definitely going to. You were right. They're going to kill a horse. All right, Josh, this next one is you because you got to give some background to
Oh
it.
yeah. So Mike, when we were
it's context.
we were younger, we were a little bit wild and getting in fights sometimes, with strangers and people that pissed us off and stuff. And one time, you had explained to me the fundamentals of a street fight that you had learned, I believe, from your father. Great guy. Shout out to Ralph.
Yeah.
Can you give us the fundamentals of a street fight?
I think it was like any fight you're in should be done in one punch, but I don't even know if that's true anymore because I knew a guy who punched someone in the face and kid fell back and died, and now he's in prison for 20 years. So
Sounds like it was done in one punch.
it was done in one. I guess it did fall. Technically, he won. It's just he wasn't prepared for the consequences of his victory.
He won the way.
Yeah.
He won the fight and won the war of life.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the other ones?
Yeah.
Maybe already a fun.
Hold on, Grayson, shut up. Go ahead.
Don't. I think there was like there are no rules. Like,
kind of
kick him in the nuts and stuff. Kick him in the nuts before he kicks you in the nuts.
I feel like one was always throw the first punch.
Oh yeah.
Like be the aggressor. And then I feel like there was another one that was like anything around you can and should be used as a weapon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, it's funny. I remember you telling me these, and it stuck with me for some reason because they all like make sense, Like you want to fast fight, aka you want to, if you're gonna get in a fight, you want to not like be in some long fight where life is pain and you're dying or whatever. Because you're like I don't know if you've watched like there's this new thing. It's like Backyard Brawl or something. It's on YouTube. Have you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're beating the shit out of each other sometimes.
Yeah, they are, but they're not like it's fun to watch because they're not good enough to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But they can throw wild punches, and so you're just landing wild punches on someone's unprotected face.
Yeah.
Have
you seen the really huge fat guy that like bows and wears like a headband and like a full gi and everything, like full karate outfit?
No.
You guys.
Oh man, I forgot his name. I'll get it to you guys. It's like Kenyaki or something. It's some like Asian guy. It's like some big white fat guy, and he fights other fat guys. And it's like, man, you got to read the YouTube comments on those ones. They'll get you.
Do you guys remember felony fights?
Yeah, those were kind of sad though.
You remember the guy that owned the channel went to Dr. Phil and dressed as Dr. Phil? And Dr. Phil was like, dude, no, I'm not doing this with you. And he was standing there with a bald head and the hair right there. And he was like, what?
Wait, so did the guy normally have hair and he just shaved like
he did the mustache? He looked like he like dressed as Dr. Phil. And he was like, why? How could you do this horrible channel? And he was like, ugh. And he would like come back with Dr. Phil-esque, like, how couldn't I do it? And Dr. Phil was like, all right, get him off. Now you can watch that YouTube. It's hilarious. It's fucking awesome.
It sounds hilarious.
Sounds good.
Okay, Michael. I changed this question up last minute because I'm just edgy and crazy like that. If you had $1 million right now, just fell in your laps, cash, money, baby, what would you do?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'd probably. I mean, it would be very bad for me. I think I would use it to just destroy my life.
Oh my God! Can we?
Any morals I had would just be gone immediately as soon as I got the money. It's just that anything I believe is right or wrong is just out the window. And like now, you can't tell me what to do. Like I'm doing whatever. I'm breaking a lot of shit. And
What? No.
That's
No?
good to
Yeah.
know. We actually agreed that we're going to start a GoFundMe at the end of the episode for you, Mike. We're going to try to raise $1 million.
$1 just for you.
You can
We're gonna
follow
see-
me around and watch me do it.
Yeah, we're gonna
we'll
film you.
videotape
It's
the
gonna
whole
be
thing. It'll be great.
hashtag content, hashtag keywords. All right. So if $1 million fell in your lap, it would break you. And you know what? That's kind of correct because I think the weight would be pretty heavy.
Recently, I actually read a YouTube title for Mr. Beast. I didn't watch it because fuck that guy. I feel like he just
Who's Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast. So he's like some like young guy that's probably like a YouTube billionaire at this point.
Oh, the guy that hands out Teslas.
That does
Okay.
what?
Go on.
Basically, he does shit like they do like competitions, and it's like this competition's for $50,000. How long can my friends stay in this ring? He probably doesn't pay him the money or whatever, and they'll do stuff like just like this like insanely clickbait stuff that you want to click because you want to know, but you're like, God, fuck that guy, I hate him. He has like a clickbait title that's like, I spent $250,000 on fireworks and like watch like the fireworks or whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, one of his recent titles was I gave people 10 seconds to spend $1 million. Could you do it?
Okay.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
How?
I'd be like, Josh, I'm hiring you and I'm paying you $1 million for the next. I'd just send a text message and be like,
My man, this is my lawyer, by the way.
yeah,
Open up Robinhood, throw it all in Tesla in 10 seconds.
you can't do that in 10 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
not with
that's
that
the
attitude.
catch. That's the catch, dude. The catch is you have 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving it to the closest person and I'm looking at them in the eye like, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. And
What
then
if I was like, no, I'm not taking it?
I would respect that actually. Job offer declined.
Yeah, well, no, actually, Mike, that's a really smart idea. Be like 500K
No,
each,
no, I think you misunderstood. I would
10K, 90K each.
That's closer.
Yeah, he's really
I'll give you
hoping to
three.
skim somebody. Well, I mean, it's not. At the end of the day, it's like if there's an actual job, that's why I decline. I'd be like, man, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't know if I can do all that. So,
Well,
but
if you accepted the job and then tried to keep the money, I would make it the worst job that you've ever had. So
yeah. But you might have to have a document drawn up for that. I don't know.
the verbal agreement, man, holds weight.
It does.
Does it really? Do verbal agreements
verbal-
really hold weight? Maybe if they're
100%.
recorded, right?
No, just a verbal agreement.
Lie under the court of law, Joshua.
Yeah.
Unless you don't believe in God. A little loophole for you guys. Just kidding.
God. You know what
Yeah.
God backwards is?
Dog.
Nice. You guys can read.
All right. So $1 million. Yeah. Wow. Quite a little tangent we ran on there. All right, guys. That was the podcast for the day. The last question before we do our outro. Mike, and I wrote this for me because we thought Josh was going to host, but he can't handle those things. Mike and Josh, a question I always need to ask before we go to end it all off, to really bring home to the listeners what we care about. Mike, you're up first. What is your message to the youth?
Oh, I just want to say, all the youth out there, that
Positive.
it's never too early.
To give up.
Okay.
Exactly. To give up on this life and kind of just start thinking about, kind of hoping about for like reincarnation in the next one. Just kind of give up. It's never too early. And it's never too late to give up either. So, just because you feel like, oh, I've gotten halfway through life, I should probably ride the rest out. You don't have to ride the rest out. This can be over tomorrow, and you can kind of just hope for whatever's next,
Yeah, a meteor can kill us all. Thank you, Mike. Josh, what's your message?
Yeah, I've got another uplifting message to bring to the table. I hope it'll affect many, many young boys and girls out there. If you're at camp and they're teaching you penis tricks, just listen. Just listen and learn. It may be something you want to use later in life, and maybe even pass on. Yeah.
I actually have one more thing to tell the youth. Tide
Sure, why
Pods. I feel like we got away from this a few years ago, but Tide Pods are delicious. And I can't say this. I can't stress this enough. They're delicious. They go great on everything. Eat your Tide Pods. It'll make you big and strong.
It's the biggest gusher you're gonna find.
Okay, so on that note, I will say there is a safe, therapeutic, and lawful practice that you can grab your old car batteries and you can huck them right into the ocean, and it actually does relieve stress. It helps the ocean
It recharges
electrify.
the eels, man.
Yes,
The eels need the energy.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your dim outlooks on the youth. All right, everybody. That was the podcast for the day. Thank you so much, Mike, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Wisdom, all the stoic answers, if you will. We appreciate you. You're the most famous guest, as we said a million times. Would you want to come on for 16 more of these?
In a row, yes.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here
next
first.
16,
That's a
featuring
verbal
Mike.
agreement. That's a verbal agreement. Yeah.
Well, you asked me if I would like to, so.
Will you commit to 16 episodes in a row?
I would love to commit to 16 episodes in a row.
He's smart.
All right, guys.
He's smart.
That's
my lawyer. That's my lawyer.
You can go on to Apple. You can go on to Apple Music and give us a 5-star rating. I just found out about it. Give us a comment, and we will read it verbatim. Whatever the comment says, if it has 5 stars on it, we will read it. I don't care what you say. We'll do it. There's terms and conditions on that one. And then also you can leave a voice message at anchor.fm/bizbites and more with hyphens all between it. And we will listen to that verbatim on the air and like reply to it, unless you're farting for 30 minutes, as we said before. We have to cut that down.
We said we'll listen to that.
All right, go check us out on YouTube, bizbitesandmore.com. The Twatter Machine at bizbites and more. Mike, would you like a little plugs? Should we plug any of your music?
Mike's tired, bro.
I have nothing going on.
Always on a positive note. That is Michael Kerr for you. We love him. We love you. Come back for the 16. You already agreed to it. You said you'd love to.
I would love to.
Anyway, guys, that is our take on it. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye.
See you guys.